Hi, so welcoming all. Today I just brought in an interesting topical. What are the documents and approval has to get before starting any construction activities? So for our understanding, we have made some of the 7 steps or 7 approvals we just need to take. Let's talk about all in one by one. So the first step we just need to take is so land title. And the next is land clearance. And the third one is zonal clearance. And the fourth one is building approval. Completion certificate. And the sixth one is utilities and services installations. Correct? Installation. The last procedure or the last steps is obtaining of occupancy certificate. Correct. So there are 7 steps which includes land title, the land clearance and the zonal clearance and the building approval and the completion certificates and the utilities and the service installations. So finally obtaining the occupancy certificate. There are majorly we are made for our understanding we made some of the 7 categories, so that 7 steps, 7 documents we just need to get for any construction of activity. Say for example, we want to talk in detail. The first is land title. We just talk in detail. So first is I'm taking here as a land title. Correct. So land title, what are the attributes which were included here is correct. Land title. So in this land title, we need to very carefully or thoroughly needs to go through the documents of the particular area, particular plots. Say one is clear the land title. Clear is the property. Correct. It's basic idea. So whenever there is a property of title of the property is very clear. Say for example, here is the property. A is the seller, okay, and B is the buyer, okay. So in between them, we need to execute some of the deeds, okay. We need to execute some of the deeds. So which clearly shows or implements or it clearly indicates that. So what are the data C just has been transferring to the B, and how the layout and what is the boundary line, everything he will transfer his authorities to a buyer as the B. So in terms of executing A to B of sale deeds, which shows any legal disputes or there anything. So simply the basic check we can do at any office you can just do is simply pulling out of what is called EC. EC is nothing but encumbrance certificate. Okay. So this encumbrance certificate which is available especially in the sub-register office, you can just check in sub-register office, correct? A sub-register office, you can just get this. In this EC, it clearly indicates or clearly shows if the earlier or the previous of owners which has any legal disputes in this particular land or any debts which has on this particular layout or the plot, or maybe in terms of say in any monetary transaction is still something is is pending, or any mortgages which has this land. So everything we just need to thoroughly has to look into this land title section, burdens of looking legal teams which are, so there are so many legal teams which are backendly which help for you to get these kinds of documents or get verified from them, correct. The next is we are just heading is so land clearance. So in the second step we need to do is land clearance, correct. So we all know in few area basically developers will purchase the entire property in their name and then they will start the execution of the works. But in few cases or few places or few states, usually the developers will do or execute the joint development with the owner of the property, so that you will have the less chances of any legal problems which come for you. So in this land clearance topic or steps, we some of the lands which were meant to for agriculture purpose, we don't know even, but they have been converted into non-agricultural land, correct. So agricultural land has been converted into non-agricultural land, correct. So in that special criteria, we need to take proper approvals from the respective departments. Say for us on particular government bodies which act, which is there to give the approvals is State Ministry of Urban Developments, correct. Developments. This body will give you the approvals if you are just converting any land of agricultural lands to the non-agricultural land. So this is very important to take State Ministry of Urban Development approvals. So next is zonal clearance, correct. The next step is zonal clearance. Zonal clearance. So when there are step number 1 and the step number 2 which clearly adheres to the government rules or the approvals, then we need to take it from another local body called revenue departments. Revenue departments, okay. Revenue department. So it will provide you ownership certificate, correct. Ownership certificate. So here the in the zonal clearance section, revenue department will comes in the picture, and it will gives or provides you a certificate, ownership certificates, okay. Once the ownership certificates is you just you will go to get, after that town planner will comes into picture, correct. Town planner will comes into picture, because town planner will verify your plan according to the zonal area. In that particular zonal area, what are the standard criteria building has to obey. So he knows all these parameters earlier, so he will verify all these kinds in the zonal area, okay. The next will again it will proceed further to the planning authorities. Planning further authorities permission has to get. Again there are, it will goes for different, again it will goes for the different NOCs, okay. You need to get like these kinds of zonal, every builder has to get around, there are 51 zonal clearance has to get. So every builder before starting any construction activity has to get, there are 51 zonal clearance activities, zonal clearance he has to get before starting any construction activities. So the next is we are just going for is building approval. The fourth step is called building approvals. Fourth is building approval. This is quite lengthy process which has, there are three categories which comes here. One is building plan approval, okay. So by means of representation of your building in graphic, that means graphical representation of your building, graphical representation. So you just need to submit your building, there are graphical representation of buildings to the local authorities or bodies. So by means of, you need to obey the building laws, correct. So these two major steps here which includes. The next is we need to get the building layout approval. This is plan approval, this is building layout approval. Because layout approval has a very important role, because I'm going to say which has a major point as an FAR or FSI approval. FAR is floor area ratio, then FSI floor space index. So for example, I'm just taking there is called, say, some land is of say 1000 square feet, and FAR of that particular area is equal to say for example I'll take as 1.5. You can construct your building is up to, so 1000 square feet into 1.5, that is equal to 1500 square feet. So this much area you can construct in that particular area, so you can't go beyond that. So that's why FAR is very importantly present in this building layout approval. So in the building approval layout plan, the third step is commencement certificate. The third step is commencement certificate. So building plan approval, building layout approval, and the commencement certificates. That means before starting any activities, to say you want to start groundbreaking or any activity, you just need to get these two steps or these two approvals you require. So correct. The next one is we are going is completion certificate, and the fifth one is completion certificate, correct. So in this completion certificate, so what are the documents, what are the sanction plan which you are going to get, accordingly you need to execute, in the sense sanction plan equal to executed plan. So there is no such deviation should occur, especially in the construction. So once the completion of once the sanction plan is getting once you are started to getting from the authorities, you need to execute accordingly, and once everything is get completed, you will going to apply for the completion certificate, or simply we are called as CC. Next step is we are looking is utilities and service installation. So in this topic or in this approach, say for example, when you are adhering to the government standard approvals you are going to take, you will have the you just need to approach the local authorities for water connection, correct? Then electricity and the gas. Nowadays GAIL gas is proposed, so it's one of beautiful concept. Water connection, electricity, gas, these kinds of you just need to approach for the government authorities. Further, we need to get intimates to the government for getting roads and drainage and street lights and other amenities. Suppose if you are violating any if the construction activities is getting violated, then you will not be able to eligible for getting these kinds of facilities from the government. So in the next and the last step we need to look is what is I can say call as occupancy certificate. Last step is occupancy certificate. So this is the last and the final certificate we just need to get it from the government is. So whenever there is execution of work is getting completed in all 100%, I'm going to say if the building is livable in conditions, if there are amenities getting more getting functional, and water and the electricity and the lifts and everything which will comes for fully functional, and you need to apply for the occupation certificate, so that you are informing to the customer and the buyers, so my project is getting completed as per the sanction plan. You can just come and you can stay, so that after getting OC or occupation certificate, you can just inform to the client, so they will come and stay in your apartments, or they will start to living. So this is how there are 7 steps which works in the 7 documents and approach which we need to take 7 steps. So first is very clear, I'm just I'm grasping it. So land title is nothing but we are in the background, we are verifying how is the property, how is the transfer from persons to the another persons, any legal disputes are which happened, so we going to especially we'll come across here. The land clearance is nothing but if there is any agricultural land has been used for the non-agricultural purposes, like building of residential, any commercial building, that's actually illegal. In that special condition or any that kind of situation, we need to take, say for I just do the proper approvals. Next is zonal clearance. I'm going to say which zone which comes in the town planner, they will going to be he will going to give the proper approvals. And the next is building approvals. Building approvals which includes, I just told, building plan approval and the layout approvals and the commencement certificates. Okay. And the next we have seen utilities and the service installation. Once the project is getting completed, we need to go for the other government bodies like water connection and the electricity and the gas, and if everything is completed as per approved the plan, you can still move further. You can approach to the government, say I just need the roads and the drainages and the street lights and other basic amenities which government can gives to you. The next and the last step is occupancy certificate. When the project is getting completed within all manner according to the sanction plan, you are good to go for announcing as the occupation certificate. Government authorities, some authorities will going to come at your location and they will verify your sanction plan and the executed plan, and they will going to give you the occupation certificate. That's all today's topic for you. I just bought it. I'm ending the session with great regards here, and I will try to bring the same type of content in the upcoming session, and thanking you.